Hey guys, this is Andrew with Whitetail Rampage. Today I'm doing a video to show you guys my setup, tell you a little bit about myself, and let you in on some upcoming hunts we have planned. So I'll go in my garage here, get you guys set down, and we'll talk about it. We're also going to talk about a change I made this year with my bow. It's kind of a bittersweet thing, but we'll get into it and discuss things. So let me get you guys set up here and we'll get into things. All right, guys, so I am 27 years old. I live in Mount Sterling, Kentucky, and I run a directional drill for a living. Got 4 kids and a wife. We live on a farm. We've got livestock and we've got coon dogs. We are avid outdoors people. If there is a season for it, we hunt it. We have competition coon dogs. We breed and sell those here as well as train. But that's a little bit about myself. Let's get into our everyday equipment that we're taking to the woods and what's in our pack and what our plans are. So this is my new bow. It is the Bear HC. It is a 70-pound draw weight, 29-inch draw. I bought this setup last Friday. I've yet to kill a deer with it, but I'm very excited to. Hopefully it'll come together this weekend for me. As well as the Scott Archery Shark 2 release. So far I'm liking this. I'm gonna do a little bit more adjusting right here. It's got adjustments on the shank to make it longer or shorter. I think I'm gonna make it just a touch longer to suit me. We are shooting nocturnal lighted nocks in a 2-inch 100-grain expandable broadhead, okay? So from that, we're gonna go to what we're packing. This is my public land setup. I have not made the switch to a climber yet, or a saddle yet. We're hunting out of a climber. This is how I pack my pack on it. We'll loosen these straps up and we'll get into things here. This has been a very effective setup for me. This is the X-Stand climber. It's not a real cushiony climber. There's not a ton of room to move around. It's got a very small seat, but it is comfortable. I like it. It's very lightweight. We've also got our sleeping bag hanging on here from the last time we went camping and hunting and scouting. So, but this is my carry-all for public land. It's worked for me for years now. It's a cheaper climber I bought used. It's not near as bulky for those long walks on public land. So from that, we're gonna go to our pack, scent control, thermocell, rubber attachment wire. Works really good for hanging my thermocell up so I ain't on my bow hook, or tying your bag up, whatever you need to do. It's very handy. You can just break it apart with your hands, use it for whatever you need. We keep a HME folding wood saw. It's a cheap wood saw. Doesn't take up no room, don't hardly weigh anything. We keep a Outdoor Edge Wildlight kit. It's got 3 knives, a caping knife, a gut knife, and a deboning knife, as well as a sharpener and a pack of rubber gloves that will never get used. It comes in this really nice case. It doesn't take up any room at all, and you always have it with you as long as you leave it in your bag. We keep a extra trail camera for these public land hunts. A lot of times I'll go in one way, hunt a spot. If we leave half day or whatever, I'll go out a different way. If I come across some sign that I want to do some surveillance on, I will drop these small cameras, and I may not come back for 2 weeks to check them, maybe 3. It just depends on what time I get. But I make sure I buy these when I can buy them as cheap as possible. I don't even remember what brand this camera is. Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. This is just a cheap camera that was on sale. Let's face it, if you're hunting public land, people are gonna steal stuff. It just happens. It shouldn't be that way, but that's how it is. So I buy the cheapest of the cheap to put on public land. Keep a card reader in my bag. That way I can check these cameras if the opportunity arises that I can go. Extra batteries, 4 cameras. There's some SD cards in here, bottles of water. We keep a Walmart deer drag in here. This thing is very handy and very cheap. If you kill a deer a long way from the truck, you're trying to hold on to your bow with one hand, you're trying to drag the deer with the other, and you're packing your backpack. This works wonders because I put this on, put my backpack on over top of it, and I'm hands-free to hold my bow and pull myself on limbs or whatever needs to happen. I'm not beating and banging my bow on the ground or what have you. It's all right here. All your weight's right here. So it's been very effective for me. I've had this for like 3 years. It's the same one. I've had no issues out of it, and there's not really anything to go wrong with it other than the rope get bad or a buckle break. But it doesn't take up a lot of room. We keep scent-free deodorant in here. That's about all we keep in our pack. I pack pretty light. If we're gonna do like an all-day sit or something, I will pack snacks and extra drinks and whatever. I like to keep energy drinks in my bag. I'm out right now. Another knife that I carry is this Elk Ridge knife. They sell this at Rural King. They are a cheap knife, but they hold an incredible edge, and I love this thing. I skinned 4 deer with this last year, and it's still razor sharp. So I've got several of these laying around. I bought one, and I liked it so much, I just kept buying all the other ones they had till they didn't have any new ones at Rural King I could buy. So that is the Elk Ridge knife. So if you guys are looking for a good knife that holds an edge, cheap, check them out. I know they sell them at Rural King. I'm sure they sell them elsewhere. Now we'll get into what I did, what I switched on bows. So this is my previous bow setup. I've always been a gun hunter. I like to gun hunt, but it had gotten a little monotonous, so I switched up and started bow hunting a lot more. But I've had this bow for a few years, and I've always killed deer with it. But it is a Parker Sidekick Extreme. This is a youth bow, guys. It's got a 29-inch draw, and I think it's pulling 65 pound, or it was. I've turned it down since I bought my new bow for the kids to shoot. This is a very inexpensive bow. I think I bought it at a pawn shop for like $80. But I've had it for years, and I've shot it a bunch, and I really like it. It has a 4-pin Trophy Ridge sight on it. I was shooting pretty much the same arrow setup that I'm shooting now, just different brand. But this has been a very good bow. It's all about what you want, okay, guys? I've killed deer at 45 yards with this bow. I'm comfortable with this bow. But I'm starting to travel more, and we're talking about going on an elk hunt or a black bear hunt with a bow. I wanted something that's shooting a little bit faster than this bow. It's not the fastest or the quietest thing in the world out there, but it's been very effective for me. I wouldn't knock anybody for shooting this bow. It's very small and lightweight. I do not know what the limb to limb Measurement is on either bow, but this bow is smaller than the other one and lighter than the new one. But it's been effective. Hopefully the kids can take this bow and shoot it here at the house and learn to be proficient with a bow to where they can hunt with a bow as well. That's what I'm hoping for. So, like I said, that bow was about $80 to $90 at a pawn shop. I mean, it came with arrows and everything. I mean, it was an absolute budget buy. This bow here, I bought at Cabela's in Lexington. I spent $780 in there the day I bought this bow. That was arrows, broadheads, new field points, nocturnal lighted nocks. There was something else I bought. I can't remember what all it was. But nonetheless, I spent a lot of money in there that day. And I had a setup that worked. So it was an unnecessary purchase, but it's what I wanted. I'd wanted a new bow for a long time. I'll show you guys my view here before I sign off for the day. This is right here in the holler. We've got a pretty good sized pond right here. So it's just all hills and hollers. This is where we've killed both the does this year. On the other side of this holler, there is a, I'm gonna say 400-yard wide strip of soybeans over there. And up past that is all corn. I don't know how much of it's in corn, but it's a lot. So then on this side over here, at the top of the driveway, there is corn over here too on the neighboring property. These deer are using this thick bedding cover down in here to travel. They're using this thick cover right here to travel, but they're bedding down here in this bottom. You'll see in some of my videos that get once they get uploaded, that bottom is very thick. There's some sort of vine down there. I need to look it up and see what it is. But it's about waist high. And in some places it's climbed up over stuff and it's over top of your head. But it is super, super thick. And the deer just move through it so quiet. And you can't see them until they're right on top of you. So they're very comfortable down in here. This holler hadn't been hunted in the past 10 years before I moved in here. There is an absolute ton of does. We had some bucks on camera down in here that were good bucks before they shed their velvet. But once everybody shed their velvet, they've disappeared. I don't know where they went, or, you know. I'm going to make some changes here. I've got a elevated blind I'm gonna put up in the back hayfield. Either I'm gonna put it in the back hayfield or I'm gonna put it on this ridge right here, looking down in this holler. I'm not sure which I'm gonna do yet. I've also got a power line cut on the other side of the house. I may set it on that power line cut because it goes all the way down into the holler. There's that thick vegetation down in there along the creek. Mine could have a pretty long shot right there. So we're gonna change some things up. I'm gonna move some cameras around. It's 110 acres here. But I get deer on this camera up here by the house, on the other side of the house, that I don't get on the camera in the back. So they travel through here different ways. They're not just up and down this holler. So I think we still may have our bucks in this holler. They're just going a different way now, which they may have moved out. I would say we're going to see a absolute ton of bucks when the rut comes in, because these does are traveling through here so much. I can put my camera out for 3 days here and I can pull 1,000, 1,200 pictures off of it every 3 days. And most of it's does or young bucks. There's several young bucks in here that are traveling and coming to the mineral and the corn. So this is our first year hunting this place, so we kind of rushed in. We had like think we had 3 weeks before bow season came in when I moved up here. So we had to move in, get everything settled. I threw out some corn. I had seen deer. You see deer right here all the time. They come up and down this ridge right here. Going cornfield to cornfield, I guess. These guys on the other side of me, they've got some food plots too that the deer are using. So we had limited time to set up. If I could go back and had more time, I'd change where my stand is in the back for sure. I get a lot of deer on that camera and that setup there, but I get a lot that go past me out there about the 70-yard range in that bottom. And, you know, I could split that difference and be about the same because the wind blows up that holler and the deer are coming from down it. So if I set up in the middle, I'd have a shot either way, either on that trail they're traveling or the ones that are coming to the mineral and corn. So we're going to change that up. The stand set up on the other side of the house, I've killed the 2 does out of this year. That's set up for the kids. But I've been using it because it's so close to the house. I don't have to get in the truck and drive back through the field and then go down all the way in the holler. I can walk a few 100 yards here off the front porch and hunt. So I think we're going to set a stand. Here's that pond. There's a drain that these deer go in this drain right here. I think we're going to set a stand down here in the bottom of this drain because I catch deer in the mornings coming from up here across down in here. So a lot of times when I come out in the mornings, right around daylight, they're coming across this ridge in front of me. So I may move something there. I've got big plans. Next year, we're going to try to put a food plot in, a couple food plots in down the holler along the creek. I know this creek gets up. I don't know how bad it gets up yet. So we're going to make it through the winter and see how that does. It's been extremely dry this year, so the creek just has big water pools in it, and that's it. There's completely dry spots in it. So hopefully we'll learn a little bit, and I'll know whether I can put a food plot in this bottom or whether it's going to get washed out. I was going to let you guys know the first weekend of December, we are going to northern Michigan for a muzzleloader public land deer hunt. It's going to be me and my buddy Isaiah. Hopefully we'll have some good luck up there. We're going to go see our good buddy Tom up there. He's a bear hunter. He bear hunts with hounds. So we're going to try to get some of that on video for you guys. I don't know if I'll get the time to get up there and get video footage of that. After that trip's over, if we're tagged out here at home, we're going to try to go to Tennessee and public land hunt as well. I'm going to try to hunt 3 states this year. And then next year we're going to venture south. I think we're going to go to Alabama or something like that. Here soon, the weather's getting right. I will get you guys some coon hunting videos on here. As soon as I get freed up with some work, we're traveling right now, so I'm not getting to hunt a whole bunch. But the first chance I get, I'll take you guys coon hunting, teach you guys a little bit about that, and let y'all experience that with us. That's all for now, folks. We're going deer hunting this weekend. Hopefully I have some more content for you. Remember, shoot what makes you happy, keep your freezers full, and enjoy the outdoors, guys.